Come on, motherfucker. Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. Why the fuck am I freezing up?
You should have rebooted.
It's okay. It'll just be the Roman slideshow.
Right.
I'm sure it'll clear up in a minute.
It's going to be great.
All right.
Perfect start. Perfect.
There it goes.
All right. Am I back? I'm back.
Yeah, it cleared up. It just needed a little time to catch up.
Fuck shit. God damn it. That's no way to start a show. Anyway, welcome once again to Roman. Fuck off, Jacob, of the Empire. This week, we're going to be talking our Vegas trip and those who survived and some pop culture. And with us, we have very special guests, Blair and Nadia. But let's go around, do introductions, and then dive on into this thing. He is my partner on this channel. He is my wingman. He once stopped me from carpet bombing all 47 planets named in the first 2 minutes of season 2 of Andor because space techno is cool, dude. He is Shield Wall of Dragons. Welcome back, my friend. It was great to see you last week. Always good to see you. How are you? And I'm glad you're not in the back of the bus anymore, my friend.
Hey, how's it going? That was by design. Yeah, last week was a lot of fun. It was great meeting everybody and hanging out and stuff, and riding on the party bus and all. It was everything you would hope it would be, and then some. But yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to get into this, and also it was great to see everybody last week.
I know.
It was so good to see everybody in real life. We got to make new friends, which is exciting. I shared. So we met. I'll talk when I get to the pictures. Yes, I'm going to do vacation pictures. You're going to do vacation pictures with Dad. You'll be fine. I promise. And Mando is out this week. She wasn't feeling well again, so we hope Mando is feeling better so she can have an okay weekend. But he is the scourge of Gotham, the nemesis of the Dark Knight. He is Joker Voice. Welcome back, my friend. I got to see you. We embraced. You tried to shake me with something. I avoided it, but it all worked out. It all worked out in the end. Good to have you with us.
It's such a lovely thing because now I can say, Roman, would you scissor? I would scissor. And Roman has scissors!
Ah! I've been dreading this moment for years, folks. For years. This goes back to season 1 of The Last of Us, Nadia.
Episode 6. Episode 6.
Episode 6. And I just want to right into the jugular. But nonetheless, good to have you with us, Joker. It was upsetting that it was not taco night in Arkham.
Well, that's Saturday night. That's Saturday.
I know. It is what it is.
At Arkham. Because it's a madhouse there.
So you do what you can do, but it was fantastic to see you. He is the meme master of the interwebs, using his power for good instead of evil, gone down to 7% of the time on that. He is Jacob Ironside. Welcome back, Jacob. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. So, Roman, did you have to get another pair of scissors to open the scissors?
No, I did not have to double scissor. I did not have to double scissors. I was just able to rip them open in a very non-ceremonial way. Anyway, it's good to have you with us. I'm gonna comment on Beard in a moment. I'll do his intro, but then I have to comment.
God. Oh God.
Where the fuck am I? His beard is the real victim of the Thunderbolts movie.
Oh God, that's so fucking sexy.
Also good at beard. What is going on with your lighting? You look. It's like you're in a Western. What's going on down there?
You're muted.
You're
You
muted.
are also muted.
I'm still working things out in this new quarter. I don't have all my stuff like automatically set up yet where I can just hit a button.
Okay, all right.
I'm actually currently fighting with my second monitor that half of it decided it doesn't want to light up anymore. So you see me just like go off camera and I might be throwing something around the room.
Okay, well,
Right.
You gotta have that same cowboy hat.
fighting with your second the monitor, is that what you?
Yeah,
call,
keep it on my Darth Vader.
Is that what you call squeaking now?
No comment.
Oh my! Immediately he's gone. Just like that, he's gone. Oh, Lord. Musician, pop culture aficionado, YouTube prostitute, man of the people. He is Sammy the Repeat. Welcome back, Sammy. It was so nice to meet you, my friend. We embraced. You did not try to shank me, unlike Joker, but it was very good.
No, I came shankless. No, it was great seeing everybody. I had a blast. It was really cool. Like just meeting everybody in person. I think Shieldwall was the first person that I met, and he like snuck up behind me. He's like, "You don't even know who I am, do you?" And I was like, "No, I don't."
Yeah, I told him I was going to make him warlord of all Greece.
Wow.
That's hot. My signal is all cocked up tonight. That's fine.
And look at me now.
And look at you now. You are warlord of all Greece.
Thank
Oddly
you.
enough. Congratulations on that. Not everybody gets it. That's quality stuff.
If you just kneel, which again, that costs extra. I'm just saying.
Lord. He is the man who knows all the things about all the things. He is the Thad you shouldn't be, the unbearable 73, the metamorphic, metastasizing metronome. Fuck, I was doing so good. I almost got it. I was so close this time.
You were 99%.
Welcome back, Matt. It is good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you all. I'm surviving here in the anus of America called New Jersey. Going through yet again more crap from the state of New Jersey.
I'm sorry. I mean, New Jersey at its best is still not good, as we are all painfully aware. So I'm sorry you're having to deal with the assholes again.
And this comes from a guy who lives in California.
No, it's almost every state has its. California has a lot, but the entire West Coast, frankly, has a lot. But it's funny. Mrs. the Empire were talking a little bit ago, and it was something about Seattle. And I'm like, well, fuck, at least we don't live there. She said, entire West Coast is just a cesspool. And I'm like, that's right, honey. Thank you.
Thank you, March.
He moves with mystery, they say. He comes and goes as he will. He is our favorite wizard of the interwebs. He is Blair de Blair. Good to see you again. I love your new setup there, my friend. That is very
awesome.
Thank you. I got all my books out finally. After how many years of living here, I finally got all my shit out on display. It's very nice.
That's good, man.
Cool.
It looked great. And again, it was also very good to see you. And it's if you ever are in a city and you see a man walking like a Sasquatch, but he's not Sasquatch height, that's Blair. And you can spot him 200 meters out. It's like, I see Blair. I see him. Where's he going? So you can spot him anywhere. And last but not least,
Blair would pop out of everywhere, though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He is the host of Horror with Madge, sharing her voyage of discovery in the vaults of slashers, monsters, and all creatures of the dark. And surprisingly, it's a lot of movies. She is Nadia. Welcome. I think this is your first time on the show. It is.
Yeah.
He said audibly and he put his hands on his hip for a little day, but that's all right.
Well,
welcome. And I know you can't stay too long, but I'm
Yeah.
happy you're here. We got to meet in the real world. And man, it was a good time. It was a fun trip. This was I had a good time. I had a good time. Admittedly, this meetup, I enjoyed the pre-meetup time better than the meetup time. You know, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't want to get banned from anything, but it just, I don't know. It was, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun we all got together. It was a good time.
That's because this year Roman did not have edibles supplied by.
Listen, first of all, I'm going to defend myself on this one because the cannolis approached me last year and was like, "Hey, Roman has a bunch of anxiety. Like, do you have something that will help him?" And I was like, I have gummies, but they're like 10 milligrams. Oh, they'll be fine. So they made me give it to you. And then I talked to them this time and they're like, "Oh yeah, we just wanted to kind of see what
would happen."
Yeah, what would happen?
Exactly.
Well, I've been drinking an awful lot before we got to the
God!
Wow. If it had just been the edible phase, it would have been fine. You're mellow, you're happy.
Yeah.
Drinking an edibles, basically, I just checked out.
The Vegas weed is much different than like we have dispensaries out in Detroit. That ain't nothing. From like you got like a special.
Wait till you try California weed. That's a different level on its own too. It's even better than Vegas weed. So
no, yes.
Well, I was trying to give Roman an out, but
I'm no longer affiliated with any organization. So let's say hi to Yon chat real fast, and then we'll get into some pictures because it'll be fun. I do have one story I want to talk about before everything else, and then we'll get in there, and that'll take about that long. There had to be a better way to phrase that and present it because it just lends itself to chaos. Boosh! Back to my Mr. Shadow Award. Okay, I don't know what that means. But fine.
It's a game.
I understand that's a game reference. I get that. You salty old bastard. That would be my son, the creative blue collar guy. I got to see him a couple nights ago. We got together and did music in the garage. Not a euphemism. I just want to make sure that is understood. Let's see, Blair, Boosh. The NOS again. I wish I could have grabbed a few drinks. I would have ended up dead. And that's, I can't say it's not true because that's probably true. But one day, my undead friend. One day, my undead friend. Bibbidi boppity boop. But that looks like it's everybody for now. So if you're watching out there, hey, let your friends know that we're on. I know we took last week off, and I know that fucks everything up because people get confused. They're like, is Roman? Fuck, I'm freezing up again.
It's going to be great, folks. It's going to be great.
We're back. Just us and Max Headroom here.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
Oh my God. I'm not coming back.
Turn your camera off for a second and then back on. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to.
You're back.
We'll try to get through the next segment here. And then I may self-eject while you guys are talking. And then
please don't self-eject while you're on camera.
Remember how this is the first time I've been on Romans? It might be the last. We don't know.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You just actually come back. It's a strange turnaround. So anyway, if you're out there watching on the Twaddle, X, whatever, and YouTube, please let your friends know that yes, we are not dead. We are actually back this week, which would explain our unusually low numbers, which is not exciting. So the Pope died. So the Pope died. You may be aware of the story. It's a sad event when a Pope passes. Admittedly, Francis was not my favorite Pope.
He's not my favorite Pope either.
I have a lot of popes I like better than Francis. I didn't.
All of them.
All
of them.
It is what it is.
All of them.
Pretty much. JP2 was classic. I was born under under Pope Pius VI, which was some time ago. So the Cardinals get together and they pick a new pope. That's the way this whole thing works. Now, there's a whole bunch of, basically the rules are pretty small. Basically, you just have to be a Catholic male. So I want to submit, it can happen. It can happen. I'm throwing it out there, folks. Think about it. I'm Italian. It works. You haven't had an Italian pope in a few years. Let's bring it back. I'm
here for it.
You know what? Then I'm just gonna say that those communion services, folks are getting fucked up because that's getting some damn good wine there.
Yes, if Pope Roman is your Pope, it's going to get weird, admittedly. So let's we're gonna do vacation photos with Dad real fast. Because
What about
that's
memes?
you
Can we
gotta do
do
it because
memes?
you gotta talk about it. Oh fuck. I'm sorry, Jacob. Yes.
There's only 10 of them.
This is the traditional show, Jacob's memes, which are always hilarious and usually detrimental to me. So let's take a look and see what we have this week, my young friend. John! Why is my head on the end of the guitar? Why is my head on the end of the guitar?
It's a body.
Why does he look like a puppet from the, from like this 1960s Thunderbirds or something?
It's a kick-ass guitar, though.
Right?
That reminds me of when you stick my head on the turkey for Thanksgiving, where Kramer's head normally is.
Oh, yes.
It's very reminiscent of
Hey,
that.
buddy.
Damn it, Jacob. Pretty good. Whoa. Wow. Yes. That's actually terrifying.
That's an old one, actually.
That's a throwback.
Why?
Yeah. That's Matt in his younger days.
Yeah.
Hey, $20 is $20. I'm just saying.
God.
Yeah,
That's solid.
Hi.
Wise men say, Joker. Wise men say.
Thank you very much.
Wait, who is that? Because that
Who
just
is that?
That just looks like Lou Diamond Phillips to me.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's Sammy.
Jacob?
As
Sammy,
Diamond
yes.
Phillips.
That's Sammy.
Oh.
Sammy does not
Mexican
La Bamba.
I do have one of those mics, though.
Matt.
Wow.
That looks good as Pavarotti.
Yeah.
That's solid. I'm not going to say it's not.
Pavarotti.
That just looks like Marty McFly's mom.
Right.
It's Nadia. It's supposed to be Nadia.
Me?
Okay. Now I see it. Now I see it. Now.
Oh, yeah, I
Okay,
see it now.
Jacob, you got to help us out sometimes. You caught us off guard with this.
Because my brain was trying to be like, okay, what dude?
Like, that's not Mando.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, which one of us is
I've got a
that?
very manly chin in this.
No. Well, now that he said it's you, I can
know
totally
what
see it,
happened
and
there.
it looks
Yeah.
fine. But I was just like,
I mean,
I didn't realize
I was
it was
expecting
him.
Roman's face on there because
I
Roman's
quite honestly
face.
saw his eyes, so I'm a little happy it wasn't me this time.
Well, thank you for including me.
There's
That's Mando.
wow.
Now that works.
Yeah, that does.
Wow.
That's our girl. So she's gonna be upset she misses. Hopefully she's watching.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
That's good.
Oh my god.
I know bullshit. Want this for my wall.
That is great.
Oh, I love it.
That's good
You're
stuff.
like, is that like a
That's good
stage
stuff.
adaptation? I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's good. That's good.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Pretty good.
It's a double
Wait a
Roman.
minute, it's
That's
me
a double
behind
Roman,
me.
yeah.
Why is it double Roman? You got young Roman and old
Wow.
Roman.
Well, you know,
God damn it,
Liberace
Jacob.
always wanted his lovers to look like him. So he made them get plastic surgery so they'd look like him.
Wow,
this track.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
There we go.
Wow.
Oh man,
Wow.
I gotta get me one of those wings. That looks pretty good.
You need one of
I
these
can
suits
pull
for
that off.
Vegas, Roman.
I know.
Right.
with
I
the
actually
fur
do.
cape.
I need to up my game next time. I need to up my game. Well, thank you, Jacob.
That suit.
You ended on an incredibly fucked up note, but that was quality stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Is this museum still open in Vegas or do they close it?
I think it's closed, right?
The what?
Which
Who?
one?
Liberace
Liberace
Museum. I think they closed it.
Oh,
They have his piano at the Neon Museum.
Okay.
Okay.
hmm
Yeah, I remember that.
And they do like a shout out to him during their like musical that they do with the lights and stuff. So
Okay. All right, we're gonna do Dad's slideshow. Hopefully, we don't lose too many more. Remember, folks, let your friends know that we are actually back this week. We're not dead. I didn't die in Vegas. I know that was a concern, but it didn't happen. So we're alive this week.
I tried.
Close, but
Yeah,
I tried.
Please,
you could conservatively use the word almost.
The only thing that died was Roman's patience. That's the only thing that died.
That is not a hard thing to reach. That is not a hard thing.
Dude, you walking through the El Cortez when we were looking for the boss was like one of the funniest.
Wow, yeah, he was
a
hair's breadth away from putting his chief hat back on.
He had his finger on the Uber app the entire way.
Yeah,
he was like a cheese crabs.
As soon as we got to the meetup and we were in line, I was like, all right, you guys stay between me and Roman because the line is really long and I'm not gonna make eye contact. I'm just
and then
the grumpy old man, the grumpy old man.
Luckily Melissa came out and like saved the day.
Right.
Yeah.
So
actually, Roman Boosh has a question.
What do we? If Roman, no, that's not a pope. That's not a pope thing. That's a Britain thing. That's a British royalty thing. So the answer would be no. The answer would be nay, my friend. Nay.
Put out a papal bull.
That's in Latin, though.
Papal law.
That's Latin.
Okay, that may be a drawback. I don't speak either Italian or Latin, so I'm going to need a translator when I get in. But that's fine. Wait. Roman will send the Irish into battle. I'm not against it. All right, so let's take a look at Dad's picture hour here. So we got Zach's Sabrina. It was good to see Zach's and his missus. That was nice. And I think it's Andy and Katie. Am I getting their names right?
Katie. Yeah.
Okay. I was drunk the whole time. Our good friend Tom. And Cannoli is the enormously tall man in the back. Shieldwall is hiding behind Vaughn. Vaughn is an incredible artist. He was on with Zach's last night.
Zach,
yep.
And
has his own comic books. Yep.
Holy shit. I thought he was like a 17-year-old child of one of one of the other people. Turns out, no, he was there on his own.
You know who he looks like? Because I was watching Super Troopers last night, and he's one of the kids in the opening, the blonde with the slick hair.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's already pulled over. He can't pull over any further. Holy shit! I'm gonna give him shit about that for the rest of my life.
No, I can see it. Of course, Tom, our good friend Tom from Tom's Tinkering and Adventures was with us, my traveling companion.
You insisted on calling him your traveling companion.
Wasn't it you, Simon, that was like, hey, it's modern day. You can just call him your gay.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you don't have to call him your travel companion anymore. It's 2025.
Heterosexual life mate,
So if you're watching White Lotus, this guy looks just like Sam Rockwell. And I was like, it's fucking Sam Rockwell. But it wasn't.
This is just some random dude.
Is this the random dude
that we met?
When we were at the container park.
Because Roman and Tom had beers in their hands. And they go, you can't bring these beers in there. And so this guy and another of his friends was hanging out front drinking their beers. And we're like, you look like state troopers. They're like, no, we're not. We're like,
yes, they both had the short hair, the collared shirts. They're tucked into their shorts.
Yeah, they had like khaki shorts on and stuff. They totally look like
FBI.
FBI.
No, and as soon as they said no, like you're fucking feds then, right? You're feds. And then we got down to perhaps your Russian assets is where we ended up with it. But it was
I thought you knew this guy when you were taking a picture.
Fuck no.
Well, yeah,
no idea who this guy is.
After their 10-minute conversation, he kind of knew him.
He's like, so what are you guys doing? I'm like, well, what do you do?
He seemed like a pleasant guy.
We didn't go to fisticuffs. So there's a much of the crew, not all the crew. Nadia's there. Mrs. Sasquatch.
Sassy.
Vex. Our girl Vex.
Yep.
It was so nice to meet Vex.
Shieldwall is not hiding in the back now. I don't know where everybody else is for this picture. That's kind of weird.
That was just before I met up with you guys.
And this is like okay.
This is when Zach was going to get his little alien or whatever.
And you're looking at
that's when Zach got high and just wandered away.
No, this is Wednesday night. This is Wednesday night or Wednesday.
Yeah, this was Wednesday when we got in. Yeah.
Area 15 and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Did any of you go on Slotzilla?
No.
I don't know what that means.
No, the zip line
The
thing.
zip line.
Yeah.
Oh, the overhead thing.
Yeah.
No, not that I'm aware of.
That's fun.
Tom and Shield Wall playing a giant game of Space Invaders.
This actually wound up being fun. The Area 15 whole thing was like a giant hot topic.
Yeah.
but we found an arcade and we played like air hockey.
Yep, we did old man things.
There's a beard arcade in there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went upstairs. The guy, we got
arcade.
some tokens from the dude. We got some drinks, and everybody was happy. This was at Peppermill. This place was fucking fantastic.
That place is great. I love that place.
Yeah, it was nice.
The high back booths, the old.
Yeah, I was bummed. I missed that.
We got big fat ribeyes and a nacho that was at least the size of a small hill, and old fashions, and it was just it was a good fucking time. Felt like Goodfellas in there. It was good.
Yeah, it did. It did.
I love that place.
My hotel, the El Cortez. And if you were in Vegas, you heard me speak about the murder suite. So last year I was in the tower. The tower is fine. If you go to Vegas and you're staying at the El Cortez, stay at the tower. If you're in the pavilion is apparently code for murder suite, which is outdoors. It's all outside. And on our row of rooms, it's all white curtain, red curtain. Tom and I were in the red curtain room. Every other curtain on the floor is white. We assumed it meant we were going to fucking die, but we didn't. We did not. I don't know if it was thwarted. I can't speak. This is the restroom at Evil Pie.
Yeah,
that is fucking awesome. It reminds me of restrooms in clubs in San Diego, except nothing is full of vomit. So it was definitely a step up from that.
I mean, that's almost like the Double Down.
It's just one of my favorite places to take people out of town because it's really good
it's
pizza.
Fucking great.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so if you go to Vegas, it's $8 for a piece of pie and a beer. You can't fucking beat that. It's gold.
And it's a good size slice of pie too.
Best pizza,
so of course, if you order more than one,
pizza.
which we did, it was fucking good. I enjoyed it immensely. That's just some jackass.
Pizza in town is still Naked City.
Nah, I would argue that Evil Pie's better.
Well, am I allowed to? Can I walk to Naked City, or do I take a bus or some fucking thing?
You'd have to drive. That's fine.
See, that's the difference. I can walk to this. Oh, look who popped in! It's fucking Zach's. It's fucking Zach's, and of course he had to immediately with the butthole blaster. That's lovely. Love it. Love it's there as well. Zach's and Love It. We're doing slideshow with Dad right now. We'll get off of this soon enough. But you go on a trip, you got to share it. Again, Evil Pie. If you're in Vegas, this is worth a stop.
It's right off of Fremont too for those. So if you stay in Fremont, you just walk to it.
Right.
Yeah, it's right off the Fremont entrance.
So this is Leela Hart, the comedian who, if you've never seen her before, she's on with Chrissy Mayer a lot. That's how I met her the time before in Vegas. We went to Chrissy's show and Leela was there. And then it's funny. This is little people humor, so you just got to go with it. So she's like, I always wanted a friend who was shorter than me. And then this other little girl like pops out from behind her. It's like, fuck. She's like one of those Russian nursing, nesting doll things. They just keep coming. But yeah, so it was a good time meeting her again. And this is Tugs. You've been around.
I love Tugs.
Tugs and I have known each other for a while on the interwebs, and we've met up in a couple of things. We're like frenemies. It's fine. It's good. There they are. There they are. Joker and Bats. Yes, the Scissor Sisters.
The Scissor Family.
There's the old man of the Scissor family there.
Yes.
And then Garrett and I got to have a good chat this year. They had a big outside area, which is where we hung out like most of the evening. And so Garrett's dad was a Navy chief, actually on North Island, where I worked for a long time. We were there at the same time. Yes, I could probably be his dad too. But so we kind of bond over that, and we just chatted for a good long time. And I did tell him that the introduction on the commercials on the Blaze channel for Glenn Beck drive me insane because they repeat them 75 times an hour. And he agreed. Here it is. The
yes,
the presenting of the scissors.
The joy on his face is immeasurable.
Yeah. Oh, so behind us there, that's Brahmable wearing his Trump hair and hat. If you don't know Brahmable, there's a lot. I mean, the place is just full of
Sci-Fax is in the background there.
Okay, true. Okay, and true story. Even though Roman is not showing it, when Vex and I presented him with the scissors, he was actually overjoyed that we had thought of him to.
I remember it so differently than that.
No,
yes, I am wearing a
also
Captain
drunk.
Falcon shirt. Those of you who are wondering, it was $12 at Target. So yes, that's what I'm wearing.
You were
It was
also
only
drunk,
$12.
so
I couldn't.
you don't
I can't
know.
turn down a bargain. It's one of my
If
weaknesses.
there's any question,
There's
that's
a
his
reason
hat.
why it was a
Hat
$12.
face.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
$12,
exactly.
But it matched my hat nicely, so I was like, all right. Sammy, me and Sammy. So yes, the horse trailer hideout was the.
Oh, send that one to me. Not now.
You make my life so fucking hard, son. So there's Cannoli, who's it's funny. So Cannoli is taller in real life than you think he is. I like
Yeah,
come
yeah.
up to his navel. He's a giant. He is like a giant of old.
You know how people say that sometimes people have retard strength. He has retard height.
I went to the Mob Museum with him, Vex, and Sassy. That was fun.
Yeah, I went with them not last year, but the year before, and yeah, it was a good time. It was definitely, if you're fucking Dago, you got to go.
Yeah.
Just kind of views from the hotel at nights.
That's what I was saying.
That's the wrap. That's the wrap of the Vegas picks. I had more pictures. I took some. I didn't take a ton this year. I was too busy enjoying myself this year. I had a lot of fun. Our group was larger this year, which was cool because last year our core group was a much tighter kind of niche thing, and so it expanded out this year. So we had what, fucking 20 people or so.
Yeah, when we went to the Hennessy bar that first night, it was a lot of people in there.
Oh fuck, I forgot. That was great.
20 on the bus. The bus was 20 packed alone. So
and there were more people at Tennessee.
Yeah, and I met a lot of people.
Then the GCA guys started showing up, and
and then there's like the Cabal group, Badger.
Yeah, and then like the Rogues Gallery, those guys were there.
Because last year I only hung out with
Vagabond.
Vagabond's hilarious.
Vagabond is hilarious.
I enjoyed like every minute with all of you guys. I loved it. Thursday was a lot though. There was a lot of people. I liked Wednesday because it was a little smaller, but I liked that we all had our own groups and we all did things, but we all like crossed over with each other too. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cross pollination.
Yeah, my only thing I did, I shouldn't have wore new shoes. Like as soon as I put on my Chuck Taylors, I was fine.
Leon packed dress shoes. He didn't even pack any gym shoes or walking shoes. He only packed 2 dress shoes, and I'm like, dude, like it's a lot of walking.
He also packed leather pants, Nadia. He also packed leather pants.
Yes, he did.
He did.
And then he was wearing like those cyber goth pants with like
you look like he was dressed like he was out of 2000
Junko pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to rave.
Yep.
Yeah, Leon's a sweetheart.
Hey,
Leon, who Leon is on screen is who Leon is in real life.
100%.
Need to understand.
He is definitely that guy.
Well, we had our one friend Zachary walk all the way from Fremont to Caesars.
Tried to. Yep.
Idiot.
That was a bold move. That was a bold move. I didn't expect.
I said in our group chat, I was like, "Hey,
I know.
Don't do it, dude. You're not." No, and somebody else backed him up, and I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna let it. You'll find out." I guess
Nadia, next year
find out.
We need to do a Zach Tracker map app so we can just kind of follow where the fuck.
Why?
He's going
He just
through
calls
us.
me.
Well,
All he did was call me over and over and over again.
He was like, I don't know how to get a taxi.
Okay.
Because he actually has my real life number, and so I'm texting him. We're all sitting at the tiki bar, and like he stayed in a room with Vaughn, so like they were walking out of the hotel at the same time. So I was giving him things. I was like, make a right out of the hotel. Look for the Dunkin' Donuts. look for the White Castle. And then he responds to me, this weed is impeccable. And then he walked 4 miles in the wrong direction.
All he needed to do was take a right out of the hotel and walk 200, maybe 300 yards, and he would know where he needed to go. Instead, he's 4.1 miles, and he's in front of the Trump Tower. He's like, what am I doing?
Sammy, even though you were on the phone with him, you're like, okay, listen to me. You're in your room. Stay in your room. No, don't go anywhere. Just stay in your room until I call you. Just stay into your room.
Yeah, no, I did say that a couple times.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Atreus had to be taken to his room and left because
that's because that fool ate 6 gummies.
Well, no, he was feeling it after the party bus too. But yeah, no, he ate so many of those gummies, like they were giving him trouble at the airport because he kept like nodding out.
Kata put him into his room, and he came to check on him, and Trace goes, "Who are you?" Like, didn't even know who Kata was.
Oh my
so that means he had a good time in Vegas.
We got to meet a lot of different people. You know, it would have been awesome if everybody here could have been there.
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking next year 2 things. One, maybe look at, because we all tend to like to stay in Fremont, maybe look at one of the hotels to see if do like a block, and so we get even cheaper deals.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, actually plan our own meetup, like find a place to do our own,
not
like,
millennial
FN. Yeah, well, yeah, no, there's too many of us, but like a pre-FNT, a pre meetup kind of deal.
Okay, we're not going to go somewhere where you're not welcome, buddy.
I know, right?
we were going to the Millennium Bar, but the FNT group
you never
had a
know.
private meetup there.
Time between now and
that's where I was, Blair, Wednesday, because they had a listed,
Which
no, I didn't know they were doing that. If I'd known, I would have gone down to meet Melissa and probably got down. But
she wasn't at the door. It was some dude with a list that I have never met.
That.
Who are you? Okay.
Who
are, so
a little side note. The day after all of this, I went over to Nadia. You've been to the Salty Nerds studio, right?
Yeah.
So they actually did a live FNT from there.
Oh,
so it was cool to like not have to wait in line to talk to folks or whatever. And if you get an invite to go see the Salty Nerds, their set up there, it is top notch. That is a nice studio that they have.
It is beautiful. I agree with you, Joker. Chris got hired by them. He starts next month full time with them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
So, thank God. It's been a year.
And they're done that.
So are you gonna start streaming from the studios then, Nadia?
No. So no. I mean, Jude is one of my best friends out here. I love all of them there. Chris and I used to stream there twice a month for our Inside All Day, but
Nadia,
separate.
Nadia, you might want to call dibs on the daytime talk show set room.
I do have an idea. Anyway, this is not my show. This is Roman's. I like to do I would love to do our own meetup too, because no offense, it was very expensive with WrestleMania coming in. It was with all the events. Things are jacked up. There was also another event going. Mr. Beast,
which got completely derailed.
Yeah. So like I would, and plus we were very lucky that the weather was good.
Yeah.
Normally it is.
Oh, the weather was fucking so good, 75 degrees.
But normally around this time it's so hot. So I was like, we should do our own meetup where it's a little bit nicer weather. We can enjoy a little bit cheaper. So we'll see. Mania
in Vegas. I was a busy kid all weekend.
Oh yeah, because it's not only the weekend. Throughout the week while we were there, they had events throughout the whole thing. So it made it. That's why some hotel rooms went from like $80 on Thursday to like over $100 on Friday. It was crazy.
Well,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
it was always
triple the
expensive,
price,
which is why we had to leave early because I can't afford the triple price on the hotel after.
We booked a room Thursday night because we wanted to stay after because there's no way because we live about 40 minutes south of the strip with all the construction. So we're like, hey, let's just get a room. But I was like, it's even with the locals discount is crazy on the pricing for the next day. So
thanks for the advice on the resort fees. You saved me you saved me like $120.
Allegiant for the event.
Roman, fight them
for the event. Nosebleed seats.
Fight them.
$600 a piece.
You go up to when you go checking out. Say something was wrong with your room. Something was wrong with ours, but say like ours. They like set the temperature to a point and it wouldn't work and stuff. So we go there, we can play a little bit, and they were like, we would like our resort fees because we didn't use the pool, we didn't use anything on it. Just basically, and they will rather not.
Nadia, my hotel has no amenities. It has the murder.
But I'm saying, like, if they still charge you resort fees, go up and tell them. And
but there's no resort. There is really no fucking pool. We have no pool.
Yeah, they would rather instead of fight you about it, just give it. Yeah, just reverse it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that was like the easiest argument I've had. They were like, "Oh, okay, fine."
Yeah.
What'd you tell them? It's like I got a dead hooker in my room.
No, I was just like, hey, you know, my air conditioning didn't work, and like I didn't use any of the pools that I was using. This is like a base of operations only. I didn't like stay on the resort.
AC doesn't work. That's a no-go.
Oh yeah.
So I can get out there. I'm just going to sleep in my.
Oh, it worked fine. I
take my chances.
I just told him so.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not going to be staying on the property using most of it, then yeah, just argue about. And again, then more than likely, especially if you're really nice about it, they're just going to be like, okay, no problems, and just reverse the. And I mean, some of them are like $50 a day, $40 a day, too. So
I don't know. My hotel was not that expensive. It was like $136 for my entire stay.
But what was your resort fees per day?
But that was in the murder suite. I actually don't know. I know I should pay attention to things. I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah, it better have been cheap. They're like, hey, let's go over back to room and grab something to drink or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you get a shield.
So I go in there and I'm like, there isn't any fucking chairs in here.
I will say though,
beds and that was it.
We don't necessarily have to do a Vegas meetup for just our group. We could do somewhere else too. Vegas is just, I mean, I'm biased. I live here, so it makes it easier for me to plan. Something.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to do a Detroit meetup, you know.
Absolutely.
I don't want to die, Sammy.
Sorry. Absolutely not.
Hey, it's nice. Chicago. Nice. We got a pool now.
Chicago. We should get a dilapidated factory in Detroit, you know.
No, but I think we should do something. But it was cool. It was cool to see. It's cool to have all our Canadians here this trip. It was very cool.
Yeah. Bunch of them came down. Yeah.
I don't know how I missed this. I didn't know the Gooch is Canadian.
Yeah.
What? Lives in the same city as
I had no idea.
What? You didn't know that?
I fucking know Zax is Canadian. I didn't know the Gooch was Canadian though.
You were talking to the guy? He's been calling me Sami my entire.
Do you think he just drives to Canada to have burgers with the Zax just willy-nilly?
Yeah. You haven't heard him say sorry? Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. People in New England say it fucked up too. We should.
That would be Rockford, Illinois. Zax.
Dude, a New Orleans meetup would be the shit.
New Orleans.
Yeah, treatment you and big resort. What?
Hey,
Wait, what?
Because Nadia's given all the secrets away about the resort fees, like big.
Nadia, we could take like a haunted tour. I took a haunted tour last time I was in New Orleans. It was so much fun.
Chris and I are trying to go there in fall time to go see Andy and Katie and stuff. And I've never been to New Orleans.
I might have to like hop on that.
Fall or winter.
Yeah, because I like haunted stuff, but I don't know if I want to necessarily go in October because it's going to be crazy. Kind of like Salem's. It turns into Disney kind of craziness for both places. So
well, I went during Jazz Fest and like it was like 100% humidity then, and even still I was like, oh, this is great, and everyone's like, easy there, chubby, you're sweating now. It's May, come here in July.
Speak French.
Yeah, everybody. No, that's actually a very fair point. I don't go anywhere because my life doesn't. My life, not my wife. My life doesn't allow me to. So the 5-hour trip to Vegas to stay for 2.5 days is as much as I get out of a year. That's not even shitting you. That's as much as I get out of you.
I will tell you, Roman, California is off the table. I will not do a meetup.
Fuck California. I wouldn't come here.
I got it in me.
Although I will say, our good friend Ego is going to be here in about 3 weeks. Yes, Ego and his wife are going to be coming to visit us.
Nice.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
I would go to visit you, Roman, but I have a very strong feeling that I would slap a bitch if I was in California.
Well, here's the thing. California is a complicated place. Where I live now, while it is technically San Diego, I live in the wilds of San Diego in what they call East County, which is the conservative branch of the city. So it's way the fuck out in the sticks.
He's about
what's that?
3 hours.
How far are you from LA?
Oh no, LA is like fucking Mars. I have never been to LA. That's how close I am to LA. I've lived here for 35 years. I've never been to Los Angeles.
Usually Chris and I will go to LA and then we'll go down to San Diego and then back and then
well, if you're doing stuff in LA, yeah.
Well, you have friends in LA too, Nads. Like you used to live there.
Yeah, I don't have any fucking friends. I mean, I've got Max who lives up in Anaheim, but that's
when I was out there last year, we took the train up to LA. I went to Universal Studios.
A train, but there's like a 2-hour train, I think, or something that goes down. I've taken that before. I like going into LA. I have still friends there that work in the industry and stuff. I'm trying to plan another trip to go because I'm invited to a couple sets, so I want to go check those out.
That would be cool.
But I know, very fancy pants. It's not that fancy, but I like it. I just you Californians, you fucked one of the most beautiful states. Sorry if I swear on this. You like.
Oh no, you're allowed to say any word you want to on this stream. That's the
mother dick.
About it. Literally any fucking word you want.
In your hand,
all out there.
What?
Yeah, no. California is a toxic voting state. Like I said, we have pockets of the state. Actually,
you do.
A lot of the state is very conservative. The problem are the major cities.
LA,
Sacramento, LA,
it's all the coast.
And now San Diego has fallen. San Diego was the last bastion of the large cities as a holdout, and now it's fallen as well. The city council we have 2 conservative members on a whatever the fuck it is, but we're done. San Diego as a city is done.
We almost moved there instead of Vegas. We were like, and my husband's like, absolutely not with how they're.
Well, I'm glad you chose wisely.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I just feel bad for Max. So, but here.
No, I feel he lives up in, like I said, he's up in more towards crazy land than I am. Like I said,
his area though is very conservative. He's like the pocket of conservative around
Orange County.
And you've got a lot of those. Like I said, is the thing.
I used to live in Orange County.
Yeah.
Orange County's fine. Orange County is fine.
Some parts of OC.
Most Orange County is fine.
I got it.
OC.
Anyway, so
sorry.
All right, Nadia. I'm gonna blow you up here. Don't panic.
No, please don't blow me up. Please don't blow up. No. Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
I wasn't like gonna blow you up.
That's my job. I'm the Middle Eastern. I'm going right now to my channel. We're covering Last of Us season 2, episode 1 and 2 in about 10 minutes. So that's where I'm headed to.
Right on. What else? You got anything else scheduled?
Tomorrow's Stranger Things on my channel. My channel's doing a rewatch of Stranger Things to lead into the new season, and then Tuesdays, normal horror Tuesdays, talk about movies.
Movie?
This Tuesday we're talking about Until Dawn. I'll have Leon and whoever else wants to join who've seen it.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah. So, and then also, I do have a super chat goal tonight on my channel. If I do hit it, I did receive Matthew Lillard's Tequila and Mike Flanagan's novella that came with it. It's like a set you get. I will do a tasting and reading. So we'll see how far I can get with it, but only if I hit the goal. So that's what's going on. So follow me over there. Follow everybody. I don't know. Follow everybody. Everybody's awesome.
And again, Nadia's info is in the description of the show. So
follow Jacob's channel, by the way. I always blast Jacob's channel because he's under.
Other way, Nadia.
This way.
Nope. Other way.
Why am I this
way?
That's
Jacob. There's Jacob there.
No, Jacob on my screen is here.
That's a mirror.
No, that's Blair.
You're mirrored.
I'm Blair.
What the fuck? fuck is going on? Anyway, fuck off, everybody on the panel. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Bye.
All right, Nadia.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Nadia.
Oh my God, that was
God,
great.
now she's gone. Jesus. Now we can talk.
And now we can say swear words.
Men.
By the way, I don't know if people noticed. Sammy, did you see she had Harrow County on herself back there?
Yeah.
Yep. If you haven't read that, it's a good. It's an American folklore comic series. If you haven't read it, go read it. To trade paper.
Yeah. Hold on, Roman. If you want to like blow me up real quick.
Yeah.
Mine is actually like
No.
in that stack. I don't know if you can see it like
Freezing.
behind my head. That's all comic books that I don't have room on my shelf for. I actually just bought my second bookshelf. But yeah, it's almost getting towards the ceiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harrow County's in that stack. Off of your suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone, it was a small run, limited run comic, American based on American folklore, so to speak.
Yeah, it was good.
It's really good.
Oh, they took it down, motherfucking cocksuckers.
What?
I was gonna run the Grogu Mandalorian and Grogu leak.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks like
yeah. I
they
clicked that.
pulled it all.
Noticed
It
that.
didn't go to nowhere.
I've been
Oh,
avoiding
that's
all that
bad.
shit.
Run a search on X. It might still be up there.
Blah 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 blah.
Go to search for it
Oh,
on
on
X. Is a video. Then you can actually play it, and because YouTube won't flag it.
Let me see if it's
A
still
little bit.
around. It looks like it's been pulled out of most of the places because I think I was looking for it over here earlier too.
Mind you, I don't have a great hope for this for the Mandalorian and Grogu.
This
Let's
is,
take a look. Let's take a look.
The one that they showed in Japan or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, disabled. That ain't fucking it. No, it doesn't look like we're gonna get a whole lot out of this, which is too bad. There's like stills and stuff, which isn't great. Then we can share this. That's like the suit. The suit. He looks like he's wearing a black suit now instead of maybe he got his Beskar painted
Put your
or whatever.
helmet on.
No, but he's got to show his freaking. That's obviously a studio shot as well.
Yeah.
So for maybe magazine or whatever.
I mean, I hate to be pessimistic, but there's almost no way this can be good.
No, I agree,
No.
And no one cares. Yeah, pulled.
Cannoli.
Well, I want to disagree there because the first two
Hey,
seasons of
cannoli.
Mandalorian were good, and like so in theory, like there's like a 1% chance that they could somehow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
But
fucking gone.
And
To me, the best hope is that it won't be complete. It'll be mid.
it's
know,
good. Okay, but this
best
is
case.
but again, this is Dave Filoni in charge, and he has been, and the mask has been pulled off. Do we know where he is? He has been on Team Kathleen since day one.
Mhm.
This is gonna. They have done so much brand damage to Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This thing is done. It's done.
So I don't have it available clearly because they pulled it from everywhere. But everything we saw from it looked
but
bad.
that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign too.
And also,
and
I
that's
read
from
about
the
it,
Tokyo Comic Con.
it's a bunch of episodes cobbled together, so it's not even one big cohesive movie plot.
So it's standard
Ugh.
Disney Star Wars then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
But it's Sigmund.
So
the
we'll go to something good after that. Then we'll get into the. This was interesting. Did anybody watch this featurette, the little Superman featurette that they put out?
Yeah, where it's like the actors talking and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
all this kind of.
wasn't that bad. I mean, talking about him being a hero, he's heroic and hopeful. It's like
No, there wasn't. They didn't talk about anything
no.
stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't talk about anything other than Superman.
Right. But what I mean is they were talking about Superman as a heroic character and all these things. They weren't like, we're just going to subvert your expectations. And
Right,
But
and
that's what didn't mean it was edited very well.
yeah,
and that's something that I've been saying. You know, the stuff that Gunn has been saying is Superman stands for truth, justice, and the American way, and the stuff that we've seen. We have heard a thing about the classic theme of Superman being tied into this. There's a lot of good going into this. I just think they all need to stop mentioning James Gunn's name every 10 seconds too.
Yeah,
my only objection.
And doesn't matter what you do. Like some of the Snyder boys are just never going to be happy.
So. No, and that's unfortunate. Still, my only objection, and I mean, it may end up being minor, depending. If the movie is good, it'll be minor. Is the suit? I don't like the suit, and I voiced that from the beginning. I like the colors of the suit. I think the colors of the suit are very well done, but I don't like the lines on the suit. I think it looks a little wonky.
The collar, I can't stand the collar,
and I hate the collar. It's not. I would prefer the classic Superman, suit. But
give me the scoop.
If that's all I have to complain about at the end of the day, I would be very happy with that.
Well, one of the rumors is he gets a new suit by the end of the movie. So,
yeah. Well, right. Okay. Also, I've read, watching all the featurettes and the clips.
It also looks good in the dark.
I don't know for sure, but I see a lot of visuals that he's drawing from All-Star Superman. Some of the bits we've seen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or just to suck us in. But
didn't they say that was what it was based on? I thought somebody might have just been saying that before, like bringing it up.
Maybe. I mean, like I said, All-Star Superman is the best thing ever in comic books. So
it's pretty top tier.
Yeah. And
do not watch the animated feature. It's fucking horrible.
So what animated feature do you speak of?
No, there's an animated All-Star Superman.
No,
they leave a bunch out.
No, there fucking is not.
It's in the same category as those Mythical Highlander sequels.
Yeah, it is fucking bad. So there you got Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr. I like Frank Grillo. I wish he had been in more things before he was 50, because he's like an older dude, but he's not in a ton of stuff, but he's in some stuff.
See, and that's one of the things that I'm kind of like leery of. So he's playing Rick Flag Sr., and they imply that Rick Flag Jr. died in Suicide Squad, which still kind of leaves all the Snyder shit in this loose continuity.
Yeah,
where when you have, because it's just I don't like that.
They are not. Yeah,
he also does the voice for the Creature Commandos. He plays the same character.
I loved Creature Commandos. I know not everybody liked it. I fucking loved Creature Commandos. I fucking enjoyed it.
I did. I liked it.
I enjoyed all of it.
There was parts that I enjoyed.
I haven't seen that yet.
Fucking the Robot Soldier, I loved. I thought it was, that was a good show.
Yeah, the Robot Soldier was the shit.
So, yeah, we're just kind of zipping through this thing, because hopefully I don't get a fucking hit on it anyway. But
always try to find
this was a really good short, and it's as a short, like I said, it's only a couple of minutes, but check it out. This is one of the few movies I'm going to see this year, because I love Superman. I do. If you look at my shelf behind me, I have a fuck ton of Superman figures. I have more. I've ordered even since what I've got piled up back there. It's just Superman is one of the great American myths, and I think it's important. I think he's an important character for a lot of reasons.
Now, Roman, do you also have the stuff that it was? Are we going to talk about the rendering I showed of a Supergirl, Milia Alcock, looking as?
Oh, where did you send that to me? Was that in the X?
Yeah, in the group chat.
Yeah, let me pull it up, because that'll be probably easier to find than just fucking pulling it than digging it up somewhere else. Hopefully, it's actually right here. Blah 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 blah. So it did look really good. Something. There it is. I got it. There we go. Yeah, she looks fucking great.
Yeah.
If that's the look that ends up being on screen, That looks perfect. I don't have any problem.
The costume looks very true to the comic character. Depending on the era of the comic, of course, I would say almost like 70s, early 80s Supergirl, which is the one who was killed by the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah. And then we also saw. I think it was like I think it was some on-set stuff of Jason as a Lobo. He looked great as Lobo.
No, he did. He looks like Lobo. Actually, I wish that had been the primary casting of him.
I mean,
not the fucking Aquaman things. I hate.
He's really not acting at that point because Jason's just playing himself. At that
to
point.
be fair, that's pretty much Jason. Every role you get him in,
he's Lobo,
with the exception of the Dothraki, which we couldn't understand, but he probably was being Jason Momoa, except speaking Dothraki. So
also,
that was
except for his lesser known role in Stargate Atlantis before he even had a inkling of ability to act.
That's the first time I saw him was in that show.
He was stiff as a board.
He was, but his character was written specifically, like they cast him for the character. It was fine. He didn't need to really act in that. He just had to run around and do stuff.
He just had to kind of like be gruff and grumble every now and then, kind of like Roman.
Well, they keep giving him like I feel bad for him in a way because he has a very
with dreads.
Like Momoa looks like he should play action heroes and stuff like superheroes and action heroes, but he's getting stuck with a lot of bad work. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Why did I get rid of him on Twitter?
Like he was in.
Joker, did you send that to me and put it to the Lobo?
Probably.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find it real fast.
Yeah, I agree, I agree, Matt. He gets these. He's fine. It's just they're kind of giving him dog shit.
The best thing I've ever seen him in is a TV show called SEE. I've
heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh
I've seen stuff about that.
Yeah.
Is that so? He looks fine and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was surprisingly well done. Like I was doing for my channel, I was doing like, hey, I will randomly watch some TV show I never heard of live and talk about it. And I was watching. I was like, oh my god! Like they actually, they had the real implications of what would happen if the world went blind and how they evolved enhanced hearing and smell to be able to deal with it, and how they had to use like. It was so well done. I was shocked, especially the first two seasons.
So anyway, there's Momoa as Lobo.
Oh, and it goes without mentioning, he did that Conan remake, which itself was meh, right? The Conan movie. But the opening 15 minutes with the Kid Conan is the best depiction of Conan ever done in any format besides the original writing with Kid Conan.
And now for some news. I know how I feel about it, even though he's now a very revered director, but Ryan Coogler confirms X-Files next.
No, God.
No.
Just leave it alone. Make another show that's similar to the X-Files.
It's too soon.
Leave it alone.
So yes, Sammy, like what you said, the show that a lot of people slept on, Fringe, was like a spiritual successor to X-Files. If you like X-Files, you like Fringe. So just do something like that. Make its own world. Do your own story with your own people.
I agree with all that, but I'm saying it's too soon. If it was like 2045 or something, we're making X-Files, I'd be okay with it. But it's just too soon. Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
my only concern into that is Coogler has a certain, how shall we say, color.
You're gonna say
palette of his actors that he likes to use.
Oh,
yeah. I'm working on X-Files. That's what's immediately next.
Now, he has done some good work, especially with Creed.
He confirmed he has touched base with original star Gillian Anderson, saying she's incredible. Fingers crossed there, which suggests it's potentially a revival rather than a ground-up reboot. I guess we'll see what happens here. I myself, I'm not excited about a redo of the X-Files.
No.
It
can't be a. I mean, would have to be a reboot if you follow the story of the original, because shortly after the time of the time period where those 2 seasons. Remember, they made 2 seasons of it a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Within the show's continuity, about 2 or 3 years after that will be when the aliens came and took over the world. You remember the plot where the aliens are slowly putting people in place, take over the world in like 2015 or whatever, So they would have to do a total reboot, which is what or they're making a movie where they're working for the aliens now or something. I mean,
yeah, right.
I honestly don't.
Mulder walks around with the shirt going, "See, I knew they were always there."
They have budget cuts, so now they're doing a shoestring.
Just stop doing reboots. Stop doing spin-offs.
No,
reboots,
and we've talked about this a
Stop
million
it.
times about the lack of original ideas coming out of Hollywood. I mean, most of what we're going to talk about tonight for the remaining time is a revisit of other shit. There is just so seldomly anything new. I mean, our next story is also stupid. It is the Ryan Gosling is going to be in the Star Wars Starfighter movie. What does that mean? You all know how I feel about Ryan Gosling, the plank of wood. It's going to be coming out in May of 2027, which is 2 years away.
Just don't care.
I don't give a fuck about this. I don't care that Ryan Gosling's in it. I wouldn't care. I don't care that it exists at all.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, and I think we all kind of feel this way. We've gotten to the point we've gone beyond being upset about this, and the worst feeling that you can have as a fan towards any property is apathy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is exactly where we are. People aren't even hate watching these things anymore.
Nope.
They just don't give a shit.
Nope.
No, I saw
And Disney doesn't read. Disney can't read the room.
No, they're really bad at it. They are.
Well, I saw something about this. It says the stars are refusing to star in this movie.
That one, the Academy Award winner, they offered her part, and she's like, "No, thanks."
Yeah, they're basically getting turned down.
Can you imagine, like, if you would have told me 20 years ago that like people would be turning down roles like in a Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, look at most of Disney's stuff they put out recently. If you star in any of it, it's like career poison to you now.
Yeah.
Look at
Ridley.
Snow White and all that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Rachel Zegler is
because of Snow White. They've stopped making live action remakes of the animated films.
Well, at
which
least
I'm grateful
something
for.
came out
Frankly,
of
I
it.
wish they'd never fucking done that. So I'm glad they're not going to do any more.
They should just,
or at least it's on hold.
They should just call this Star Wars Maverick, because that's basically what it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Starfighter.
See, because there's a ton of stuff they could have drawn from. They could have taken the basics of the entire, like the Rogue Squadron book series. Or when they
they have all that shit, dude.
The Wraith Squadron, when they were like basically like undercover but still kind of starfighters and everything.
Right,
they have all that there, but they're not going to pull from it because they're not using that title. They don't want to have anybody think that we're going to be pulling from good material. No, we're just going to make some garbage up.
So because Ryan Gosling is attached to this, you think this will be the only Star Wars thing that actually gets made besides the Mandalorian?
No, they're already
okay.
They'll still go through with what is it, Taika Waititi? They'll still do it.
No, there's no guarantee this is going to be made. By the way, guys.
Let's look at the track record of Lucasfilm. They have canceled more projects that have actually come full, that have actually been made.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, so Edward Joker says, so if this was 30 years ago, all these projects would still be floating out there in pre-development. We would never have heard about them. Correct. Now with social media, we hear about every single like when they say someone submitted a script to remake Thundercats or whatever, right? Someone's always submitting a script to do that. You know what I mean? There's always
there are thousands of those.
Yeah, and we just never hear about them. But see, what happens now is like I submit to remake Thundercats, and I'll leak it to someone so they put it on social media to try to generate interest in the people on the other end.
Right.
You know?
See, you can try to Deadpool it, like how they did that. They got that. They made that the first 10 minutes of the Deadpool movie,
right?
And put that and leaked it because it was just shown to like executives, and they were like, "Oh, this looks lame." They leaked it, and then everyone's like, "Holy crap!" So then they go ahead to make it.
Yeah, but this is something that no one's clamoring for.
Right.
So
right.
Well, they're trying to generate the clamor by leaking.
Right.
And of course, but they don't realize that we don't want this anymore. Like, let this franchise go into the corner and lick its wounds. And
I have had to tell folks because they get excited because they're Disney Star Wars fans and like, it's going to happen because it's in development. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like,
everything is in development.
I'm like, that is Hollywood talk for someone sneezed for someone sneezed a thought. That's all that means.
And you could shut them up by just saying one word, Joker. Batgirl.
Yeah.
Batgirl.
Yeah. Nick Cage's Superman movie was in development. Okay.
That got all the way to post. It was almost done in post. And it says, nope.
Literally erased. Like what's going to happen in 2053, I'm predicting, probably I'll be dead by then, but we'll say. So we're going to find out some producer kept a copy of it on a thumb drive somewhere, and it's going to leak. So that's
I think it's going to leak sooner than that. I think it's
If only they would erase Ironheart from the line of movies.
I'm sure they wish they could, but an Echo too.
I just remember watching Salem's Lot last year and going, how bad could Batgirl have possibly been?
Yeah, no shit.
They sat on this movie for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And this is an abomination. Batgirl just had to be terrible, right?
She's inspiring to young black girls. Why do you hate young black girls, Roman? Why do you hate young black girls?
I don't hate anybody.
They hate young black girls.
I don't want to hate anybody. I just want my bike back.
Girls in STEM. You don't want girls in STEM.
To be fair, Roman hates everybody.
How excited I was that I got a male pilot every time that I flew there and back from Vegas. Like when I saw just like a male pilot walk into the cockpit, I was like, oh, thank God.
I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Take this rumor with a grain of salt. It's a rumor. Okay. A friend of mine. So that he told me, the friend told me that his friend, that their significant other worked for Warner and had seen clips of the Batgirl movie and said that people thought it was worse than the Batwoman TV show.
Ooh.
Wow. That's abysmal. Like that is
okay, but so correct me if I'm wrong, but the Batgirl that they were using, the costume I heard is from like the worst storyline. What was it like the Burn City costume?
Yeah.
I think it was?
Yeah.
Well, it looked to me like a mockery or mock-up of the 1960s Batgirl costume, the one from the TV show.
Yeah, it did. But it also kind of looked like a throwback to kind of what they did in like the Batman, which was also like paying homage to that. And by the way, it didn't look great like live action style. It's not something that I would particularly like to see, but it
certainly didn't have Yvonne Craig in it.
No, it did not. And but it's also one of those things too. And it's comic book movies are like this now. Unfortunately, Star Wars movies are like this now. Is when they're making these for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
and that's
they're making them for reasons.
So they're making them
for Disney Plus.
Well, they should be making them to make the money. That's what they should.
They're making them for that.
No,
they're making them to appease the very vocal, very minority group of people who don't spend money on the product.
No.
They don't go see it and buy the toys.
They're also making them for themselves.
Okay,
yes,
so
actually, you're more right about that. Yeah,
there's two discordant ideas that have to put together properly. The people financing them are making in a vain an attempt to make money, but they're hiring these woke people who are making these movies for themselves. So the majority of people financing these movies could care less about what the movie's about. They just want to see, I paid $1 million, I want $10 million back. That's all they care about.
Now you also have these like weird parts of the fan base too, who are kind of reflect like their sexual identity too as well, where it was like, oh, if you don't like this Star Wars movie, you hate trans people. And I was like, I don't know how we've jumped to that.
That's a funny leap. That's a funny leap.
Yeah, no, it was a wild leap, but okay. If you got an odd thing to say.
So, I just want to know the one thing before we go to this. Was that Batgirl film so bad that folks are like, Alicia Silverstone actually did a good job.
How she didn't get the Oscar, I'll never know.
Has anybody watched?
I don't have Disney Plus,
No,
and I
don't care.
And I am happier for it.
So I will say that I actually liked the first 2 episodes.
When it comes to Star Wars content that's being put out right now, I actually was not really looking forward to Andor season 2, but I thought, you know what, I'll watch it. I didn't even know it came out. That's how apathetic I am about this.
Yep.
I had no idea until this headline started going around.
I'm black pilled on Star Wars, and so even though I heard Andor it was pretty good compared to most of the rest of the draft, but I can't.
I just remember seeing a response to this, and folks were talking. I can't believe this is in Star Wars. I can't believe they went this way. Not my Star Wars. And these are folks who I told them this was coming. This stuff was coming. It's going to happen.
And it did.
And all I just said was, I warned you.
No, and the writer, his justification is the history of civilization. There's a huge arterial component that is rape. Now, speaking historically in warfare largely of the past, I will say largely of the past, that was not false.
It's still common.
Here's what not in like in civilized warfare, which we don't have anymore. I mean, although the Russians after World War II was a nightmare in Germany. That was German women were killing themselves rather than wait for the Russian army to arrive and rape them all.
It still happens all the time in Africa and Asia.
It's Africa. That's Africa. We're not in Africa. I'm talking about the civilized world.
I remember those guys in Iraq raping that girl and killing her whole family. Yeah, it's not that common anymore.
I have no idea what you're talking about at this point. I only because I don't remember the story.
Yeah, rape is rape. The thing about Andor is it is not kids
in context.
Star Wars.
But it's Star Wars.
Yeah,
they do terrible things in Star Wars. I get that. They've blown up planets. They've killed entire civilizations.
Yeah.
But it's always more of an abstract concept. It's nothing as overt as this scene was. Fuck it. Don't make Star Wars if this is the Star Wars you're going to make, though. Like I said, I watched it. I was entertained by it, but I'm like, this is not Star Wars. If it has a Star Wars header on it, it should be family friendly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Like slavery is a big part of a lot of Star Wars stories. That the Wookiees, Chewbacca was a slave.
Anakin,
yeah, Anakin was a slave. But it's not like they don't like. I don't know quite how to say it.
The way it was presented is very different than the way this scene is presented.
They don't
like
drill down and focus in on it and to make you feel dirty for watching it.
Yeah,
whenever they're talking about
when Anakin, like dropping the F-bomb in Star Trek.
Well, yeah,
dropping the F-bomb in Star Trek.
Anakin killed a bunch of kids, but they didn't show it. But you knew it happened.
Well, that's exactly the point, right? So, like, for example, when Vader and Tarkin blow up Alderaan, they don't show millions of people being disintegrated by the Death Star beam. They just show the planet going up, right? So, if they want to do this scene and still be somewhat family friendly, they can sort of allude to it happening without, you know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing about Star Wars. I have no objection to this concept being explored in Star Wars, right? Objection to the show not being family friendly because Star Wars is supposed to be family friendly entertainment.
It is.
They just cut to it, they allude to it, and then they have like a Jedi going like, I sense a disturbance in the Force.
As if a woman has been violated by Harvey Weinstein.
Well,
this was
at least from what
much.
I understand, like from what I understand, reading some of the things about this, is they also had to hit some check boxes because, like, she's a undocumented or whatever. So they have to like focus it on her status and her race and everything, which is just it's throwing back to like Star Trek Picard season 2, where that was like half the story was all about.
Oh my God, guys! I hate to interrupt. But you just triggered me for what I wrote. I had to have read the stupidest thing I've ever seen or heard on the internet about it, and off of the undocumented thing. So I read an article a couple days ago about a preacher who was preaching that we should be welcome undocumented because Jesus was an undocumented immigrant. Apparently, he never read the Bible. No. Why was Jesus going?
He was a Roman
the census, which is how you documented people back then.
Yeah, well, not just the census, okay? Because Bethlehem was where the line of David was from, that region. So Joseph had to go back there so his baby could be born in the proper place. Right. Sorry, I got to interrupt, but I get triggered now.
Sorry, Matt. Didn't mean to set you off.
It's like
now return to Bible talk with Roman of the Empire.
He would have.
You could
plus
address
because the
those
Romans
sort of
were in control.
Yeah, you could address those sort of things in stories without making it like this like central focus. And since I haven't actually seen the episode, I don't know if it's that big a focus in the episode or if it's the people writing the articles that are making it this huge thing that maybe it isn't. So
no, it was Beer, you didn't see it?
No. Like I said, until this stuff started floating around, I didn't know the show was back
yet. And episode 1 and episode 2, I thought were fine. I mean, it was Andor. There's a little bit of stuff that's like, but overall, I thought it was good. Then we get to this episode, and I knew this was coming. It was brewing for the entire episode, and then it happened. It's like, that's fucking horrible. This should not be. If it were not Star Wars, you could say, okay, as far as placement of it, sir.
What happened to this character in the last season? Disney must really hate women.
They hate Lex. No, they hate.
These are the same little weebles who are like, we need more female-centric Star Wars stories, and then it was like, well, I guess we'll just rape this one.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's not empowering in any way, shape, or form. That's like one of the most horrible things that you could do to a person, and like these are the same people who are coming up with this shit. So I mean, they talk out of both sides of their mouth because they're not talented enough to write a good story.
You can do it right, and a discussion kind of like along these lines that I've had not that long ago was that I always call back to the Jessica Jones series on Netflix, or even just Jessica Jones as a character.
Yeah.
The things that she went through. As a character that she was like meant to stand in the corner, be like mentally abused to fall in love with a man and everything. So they have characters, they have good stories, and they just don't run with them. We get this instead.
Well, that's Marvel's problem is like they're willing to overlook 60 years of continuity so they can jump and get to the woke shit that nobody likes. And it was like, oh, heaven forbid, like we do, Future Imperfect. Let's do it where, this Hulk's kid has like a man bun and he just like shows up.
That was so fucking terrible.
Oh my God.
So anyway, like I said, I watched all 3 episodes that were available. And while, like I said, storytelling wise, it's fine. Storytelling wise, in the context of Star Wars, it's not fucking fine. It's a problem. It's a problem because Star Wars is ultimately supposed to be family friendly. And there is nothing about that scene that could be conceived as family friendly. Like I said, it's Game of Thrones stuff. It's not appropriate.
Which I find interesting because when we would critique something from Star Wars, and folks say, "Well, it's not made for you old folks. This is still for kids." They put this in it, but this is made for kids now.
That is not made for kids.
Oh.
There's no fucking way that's made for kids.
Well, if
but
you're
Star Wars is made for kids. It doesn't need to be stupid made for kids. The original trilogy wasn't stupid. It had elements that George Lucas fucked up because
it should be rated higher than what it is. It's not rated. It shouldn't be rated for everyone.
No, it's also like it's like a TV 14 or something like that.
Maybe they consider it appropriate for kids if you take your kids to a pride parade these days.
But
all the stuff that's going on there.
Shield Ball's got a good point.
I'm just I don't know. Maybe that's like their mindset. Like
love is love, guys. Love is love.
Yeah.
I just ranted for 2 minutes straight. You got would have had a good one, but I had muted myself. So
nice.
It is in fact their way. Like I've said this multiple times. They see novels like Brave New World where they had sex training for children, for example, in Brave New World as a novel. They don't see them like us. They're warnings, right? To them, they're instruction manuals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I like Andor. I like it because it's not space wizards. It's a little bit more adult. It's more about how the resistance movement actually functions. It's made up of criminals. It's made up of mercenaries. It's made up of pissed off people. It's made up of racists and everybody in the alliance. Yeah. And it's not nice. People do some really evil shit to poke, like the guy in the beginning. Who's the head guy? The antique dealer who's in Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He's intentionally fucking with the Empire, causing them to overreact and explode and kill a bunch of people, knowing that that'll get a reaction. He doesn't care that a bunch of people get killed. He has hopes and wants to get the ball rolling on the whole thing. And it's not good versus bad. It's a lot of gray and a lot of shitty things. It's almost like evil fighting evil to an extent.
Well, remember the movie The Patriot, right? So you had your sort of classical good guys, the ones fighting the rebellion against the British for the right reasons and right. But he knew he needed those other darker characters. So he went and recruited his old friends from the military who were pretty dark characters, right? And one of the things in the movie was he had to restrain them from doing some pretty despicable things that were not in character with the rebellion's character, so to speak. But so the point is when you're in this, there is a sort of realism to like you were saying, like when you're rebelling against an authority, whether it's a good rebellion or a bad rebellion, you're going to be stuck in the trenches with the natural rebellion against authority, which are criminals.
Yeah, and another reason it works is these writers. We always go back to this where their morality's screwed up, right? So like they'll write something like this where it's murky and there really are no good guys. They have a hard time when that dichotomy is set, where here's the good guys, here's the bad guys. They can't write for that because their morality is so screwed up. So that's what one of the things they did for the Acolyte, where it was like, oh, it's just a point of view. It's about power, and you use it. No. This is one of the most simple dichotomies in movies. Jedi good, Sith bad. Like this is it was like if you can't write that, then
Palpatine was not wrong. Palpatine was not wrong. Just tried to save the galaxy from a bunch of religious zealot child traffickers.
I mean, look,
you ever watch that special about poor people who died when Death Star exploded? I mean,
yeah.
So,
there are a lot of people on Death Star.
I haven't watched any of Andor season 2, but really, what my biggest criticism with the first season, and I hope that they fix it with the second one,
it was boring.
Is that the Andor basically it's named after him, and he basically does nothing. He's carried along by the tide of everybody else doing other things. And people talk about how like female characters have no agency. Andor had no agency in that season 1.
Oh, it's because
he made one decision to shoot a guy at the beginning, then he made a decision to go back to his home planet at the end. Everything else for that 9 hours in between didn't matter. I have no idea what that was. Don't look at me.
That was a StreamYard test.
So then there's this. The Last of Us 2, season 2, It did the thing the video game did. And the problem that the studio is facing is a lot of people, most people did not play the video game. So people who were watching the series did not know what to expect. We all knew about this in the video game. I honestly didn't think they were going to do it until maybe
I didn't think they were going to do it
either. I thought they weren't going to do it until season 3 at least.
Yeah,
so
I will admit that I was wrong.
Spoilers. Stop watching us right fucking now if you haven't watched it and you care about this, because we're going to spoil the fuck out of this right now.
Yeah, because I was on board with they're going to create an original story that happens between the end of the first game and the beginning of the second game, because I didn't think they could, let go of Pedro just yet. But then also, he's gotten kind of expensive, so they were probably willing to let him go.
So, well, here's the thing, though. He's not gone. They're going to do a bunch of fucking flashback shit. So he's still going to be there. But the problem they're going to face with this, a lot like in The Walking Dead, the first Negan episode with the bat and he killed Glenn, they lost fuck tons of viewers after that because the audience did not want that. This is not going to be a dissimilar effect. I think HBO is going to lose tons of viewers because a lot of people are only watching. Joel is my favorite character on the fucking show. I don't like the fetal alcohol syndrome girl. She annoys the fuck out of me. There's nothing about her I like. And Abby, who gives a fuck about Abby? I don't care.
They want her to be the star of the show, and it's not going to work. People don't like her.
People don't like her. She is not a likable actress or character.
But she's so stunning and brave.
She is very stunning and brave.
She's stunning in a way that
it's not the good stunning.
She looks like she's trying to eat his wrist.
I'm just really glad. I'm really glad that we weren't going to have to watch this and talk about it every week, because Roman, if you said we were going to do this, I was going to pull the plug for your show for like 2 months. Be done.
Oh,
we did it last
potato!
Year.
Wow, potato sad.
So this is a case though where we do for the storyline in the video game.
God, Sammy.
I love it when I get Joker. I will say the effects are cool.
Oh God.
So there was a lot about this episode I did like, though. The zombie horde, the fungal zombie horde, I thought was fucking great. There were a lot of things I liked. Like I said, I didn't expect, as soon as this ball got rolling though with Abby, it's like, oh, they're actually gonna fucking do it. And they did it.
Well, they said they were gonna do it last year.
I didn't think they were going to do it last year. I didn't expect them to do it last year. I expected if they were going to do it, they had to get.
They said they were going to follow the storyline of the second video game last year. So
they did, but they also said they were changing elements of the game. They did say that.
They did,
and so I was like, okay, maybe they're going to stretch it out.
They
changed. It's going to be its own thing.
They changed a few things, like in the game, Joel actually lets it slip to Abby who he is. And in the TV show, someone else does that, like lets her know that that's him.
Yeah, he just
so it
call it out.
Like, kind of like an idiot, but
shout out to mailboxes, etc.
Well, okay, so I'll give you an example of so spoilers for another TV show, by the way. It's 9/11. That show killed off a main character recently, and they did so in a profoundly great way, right? Went out like a boss, And now I know this is how Joel dies in the game, but they do it in like the second or third episode. If they're going to rework it, he should have died in the last episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% agree because, like I said, they are going to lose a mountain of viewers right now.
Okay, and just to go off what Matt said, I mean, killing off main characters and doing it effectively. I mean, the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, people were getting.
But you don't have a cast that big you're working with in this, Joker. Joel was the main character.
I understand that, but
and this ain't Game of Thrones.
But like Matt was saying, it can be done effectively.
Yeah,
it can be done effectively, but it would have been done more effectively at the end of the season than in episode 2 of the season.
Right. I do agree with that.
Episode 3, whatever it was. So, like I said, the rest of the episode, the zombie attack.
Or I'll give you the
city, spoilers.
Okay, the most effective killing off of a character in TV history, and a lot of fans don't realize what happened. Is spoilers, by the way. And 100% spoilers for 24. Jack Bauer dies at the end of his run on 24. Okay, full on spoilers. Many fans didn't even realize he died.
I was sure you're going to go Naruto on that one.
No. Well, that's the most effective death in arguably in history was when Jiraiya died.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God in heaven.
But what I'm getting at is, literally, Jack Bauer, he got what's called the silent count on his last scene in the thing. That means he died in 24. And it was a build-up to that through 7 seasons. You know what I mean? Because we knew Jack wasn't going to live at the end of this. His body taking too much damage. He keep putting it on the line. You're making too many enemies. And they did it.
They made that movie, Matt. They did the Jack Bauer scene.
The movie occurs before the last season Jack did.
They could have done. Yeah. They could have. If they really, yeah, I agree. Doing this so early is going to, like, anybody who played the game saw this coming. They already have got their rage out of their system. If they're still watching the show, then obviously they just don't really care about this story beat. But people who didn't play the game, this is going to drive a lot of viewers away. And I do agree that it would have been better to do this at the end of the season. They could have done a whole other thing, and it's not necessarily the best example, but like that season of Lost where they focused on the others and what things that they had done. They could have done a whole Abby story and made you try to like her as a character or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Right, and have this happen at the end.
Well, they did do Abby's story, and that's what caused this.
Yeah, it's a good idea there, Beard. Like, they could have had Abby building towards the entire season, expressing her rage at what happened to and frustration, and get a sense that Joel had something coming. Well,
I mean, and as much as not Disney, Hollywood in general just likes sympathetic heroes now, or villains now, rather sympathetic villains, is make the audience like her before she shows up and offs their favorite character.
Yeah, no one likes her.
and in a setting like this, you have sympathy. Almost everyone is a villain. Even Joel. Joel was a villain, by the way, guys. He killed humanity. Yeah. Remember that. He killed humanity.
Whatever. Like, you haven't killed two people.
I like how they, again, these people can't back up what they want. They decided to make Abby a more feminine looking character, and it was like, that's because real women don't look like Abby. Okay, like it's unbelievable.
Well, real women also don't look like that.
They would have had to.
I like how Pedro Pascal's face isn't like it just does. It still just looks puffy, even though he's supposed to look like all swollen. Or he just looks like Pedro. Pedro Pascal always looks like he's in need of an EpiPen.
I mean, only hope for humanity in this fucked up future.
Oh, is it time?
Ella's children will have babies that are.
No, I shared a photo.
Oh, let me see. Where are we? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I forgot about this.
We could do on someone's channel.
Hang on, Jacob. It's fighting me right now.
A whole show about effective death in music.
There it is. What the shit is he wearing?
What the?
Yep, I've seen this.
Sigourney Weaver's like, what the fuck is he wearing?
Pants, shorts, and galosh boots.
And he's wearing the puffy shirt from Seinfeld.
He's wearing the puffy shirt. I can't go out on stage like this. I look like the Pirates.
I have anxiety.
Okay. The shirt, all right, you can make it work in some instances. Shorts, I'm not against them. Guys, you can wear shorts in a lot of situations. I wear them all the time.
I never.
That's where you lose me. Because I don't think he's just wearing boots up to his knees. I think he's wearing boots, and then he has specific leather leg sleeves that are separate from his footwear.
Right. And what is up with his knees?
You can't see the shorts here, but they're really tight shorts.
Is that why his knees look all weird? Like he's got
not even practical.
They're those schoolboy shorts.
Look,
he's like Malcolm Young in AC/DC. He's like,
I was about to say that's the only guy who can really rock the schoolboy shorts.
He needs suspenders to get like a later Hosen effect going.
That's exactly what it looks like. Blair. It looks like later Hosen.
He's like the retarded person who doesn't know how to wear his later Hosen. That's what he got on,
He's going at the end of like a can. He's like retarded.
Get him in the
Yes, he does, yes, Boosh, that is a very accurate.
Yes.
Accurate.
Yeah.
So, Jesus. So Daredevil ended as well. We got Daredevil. So a lot of things are starting. Daredevil ended. This was a very uneven season. You could tell where there was like new writing and old writing.
It was a show. Oh, okay.
I know. You don't watch anything anymore. You only watch the wrestling.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard it was mixed.
It was mixed. The writing that was good though. So, and now, does that make the whole series good? Obviously not. The series is a very mixed bag. If it was the first time you had seen Daredevil, you'd be like, man, this was probably not worth checking out again. But the end episode was very solid. I can't say that it wasn't, because it was. You could tell this is the bringing in of the better writers, trying to fucking get rid of what the new writers did, and doing their best with that. And some stuff is a little clunky, but most of it actually comes off well. And the post-credit scene with Frank, the Punisher, is fucking great. I was like, thank God. Because the way it ended, I was like, really? You're going to leave it like this? But they fucking... I liked it. I overall, do I recommend the series? I don't know. But... when it works, it does work well. It ended on a very strong note. So leading into season 2, you are launching off from a good platform.
I like pretty much anytime
Watch
John
the first
Bernthal
season
is on screen.
And then make a decision.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, John he brings his scenes are the best in the show, easily.
I mean, he brings it pretty much anything he's in. I've been playing through an old Ghost Recon, not old, but Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and he plays a character in that. And anytime his character's on screen, I'm like, he has my attention.
Yeah,
and like I said, the final episode was just. It's a pity the whole show could not have been like that. You have a lot of throwaway episodes and wasted time in this series.
Well, they did. So they had all these episodes, and then they decided to cut it in half and make it 2 seasons. And then they padded it up, and it's so obvious when they did.
Yeah. Well, they're getting rid of. I mean, they got rid of a lot of material, and like I said, moving forward, I don't think you're going to have the same show. It's going to look very much like that final episode did. I hope, anyway. So,
let's hope that's the case, because I mean. Really, not just. I should also point out that Charlie Cox. That's the actor, right? That Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure the name came out my mouth, and I thought I don't actually know if that's true. But both him and John Bernthal, they're fantastic for the roles that they've been given. They just need to be given good writing and time to shine. So if they can do that,
and it's not even like
it's
not even like
cashing a free check.
So another movie that I'm not going to see, which we'll touch on briefly, the Thunderbolts. Apparently reactions are good to this movie, but my problem with that is reactions to Snow White are good. Reactions to every other fucking terrible movie are good. So I can base nothing on this.
My problem
does the trailer look fun? Sure. But the problem is that's not Natasha. That's not Captain America. Ghost is still a fucking chick. And I don't know who that person on the end is.
That's a Taskmaster. That's a chick.
It was also a chick.
So it's people I don't know or care about.
Right.
If it was just Bucky, Cap,
the girl at the far end is a Ghost.
Well, no, but Roman, I guess you never read the comics. The Thunderbolts are a bunch of criminals.
Yeah,
no, I'm aware of that. It was also established by fucking Norman Osborn.
No, that was arc.
That was Hammer.
Am I getting the wrong?
Norman eventually under Hammer took over the Thunderbolts, but they were established decades before, like in comic wise.
Yeah.
This 5 years before, but
this is basically Marvel's version. This is Marvel's version of the
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Except with less likable characters.
I just don't see this catching fire in a big way.
No, neither do I.
No way.
I have no interest in it. I will see this. Unlike Captain America, or not Captain America, the fucking Brave New World, which I will never see. This I'll see when it's free. That one, when that's free, I'm not going to bother with this.
I will see this solely. I'll see this solely because Sentry's in it.
You can cut the 2 characters right off the end, and they will never be missed.
No, exactly. Yeah. It would still be a far better movie.
I bet
Taskmaster with a chick's head strapped on it, and
still irritating.
The 500 million.
Yeah.
Well, in the comic series, so there are arcs of the comic that are actually pretty decent, right? And in one of them, they took a character, I think it was named Moonstone, and she eventually became the new Miss Marvel. They rehabbed her character from a pretty villain to a decent hero, and with a good story arc. You know what I mean? It was a good heel to face turn, to use a wrestling analogy. And so the comic has had good arcs over the years. Not the ones involving Norman Osborn, but otherwise it's good arcs. And curious that Norman Osborn, when he took over like Hammer and Thunderbolt, that's when he eventually became president of the United States somehow. I forgot he was.
They also did the Dark Avengers, which were villains actually no shit impersonating the heroes.
Yeah. That's when Norman took them all over. Yeah.
No, that
was an interesting storyline.
Yeah.
So now we're going to jump into, because we don't have tons of time left here, so we'll just scurry through some of these shit. We're just not going to get through it all. This one was funny though, and it came out today, so I wanted to share this. Fucking Predator Badlands. Oh my God. So you've got the wall here, and you have in the middle of the wall what looks to be an alien from Independence Day, because they also own the rights to that now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
great.
Just some, I know. It's just like fuck.
Well, so if you go back to all the Predator trophy walls, there are a lot of little homages to other franchises there. That's it.
Well, the problem is this movie. Yeah. It has things that look okay and things that look fucking terrible. In it.
Well, I mean, the Alien and Predator has been a franchise that's been abused long before woke Hollywood.
Yeah. Much better comic series than ever a movie.
We don't.
Oh, yes.
It's obviously some kind of alien world, or it's Earth too far in the future or something. November 7th, though, so it is going to come out this year. You know, I may go see this just because I'm curious enough about it, and if I have time, which I probably won't because I never fucking knew, I'll probably end up seeing it free. But
I think
this looked way better to me than the Savage Girl running around with
Prey
trying to kill that fucking Prey. So it's the same director though, which makes me like, you doing a female lead again? Almost certainly, right?
Oh yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a female Predator too.
Yeah.
Does she got Predator boobs?
So it's just 2 bitches being catty.
Stunning and brave.
So we got a Wayland Yutani droid here, though.
One, that's for sure.
No. So it's on alien planet. Everything looks fucking pretty hostile. I like that. I don't see Predator boobs.
Give me Dutch back.
Why am I back? Why am I that? Did I not get to the chopper?
There might not be Predator boobs, but it certainly is a side shave blue hair.
Yeah.
Well, it's a trans Predator. So they wouldn't have to anymore.
So the visuals on it look pretty good. I can't say that they don't, except for when you get to actually the Predator
trans
itself.
Predator.
I hate the look of the Predator.
This is a droid.
I hate
is that the new tagline? In space, nobody cares if you're trans.
Apparently. I don't know. Here we are. I want to get the close up on the Predator.
I've seen some people with some very basic
just
Photoshop skills make this look so much better.
Yes. I saw when they put an afro on it.
Well, the problem is that's not where the Predator's little head tendrils are. There's a bald streak down the middle, and those things grow out of the side of its head.
Male presenting.
Right.
I've heard people say that
they have a big crest. They have a big crest on top of their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not
But
good.
look how small the mandibles are. I don't know.
No, this is like I said, Copa had the best one where Copa said, "Oh my God, it's fucking Zendaya again." I was like,
I mean, is this in the same universe as that other Predator movie where the kid had the helmet and like there's a new strain or mutation of Predator? There's multiple ones. Is that what they're going with?
Predators
here? Is now that this is the new?
Oh no,
the Predators was the one where they kidnapped all the criminals to hunt.
Yeah, no, that one was actually decent. The Predators.
I actually like that movie. Although Adrian Brody is still a tough sell as a fucking tough guy.
where the autistic kid was the answer to everything. Yeah, that was
the last one.
Yes.
But you know, if it was wearing a helmet and didn't just do this shit, it would be a lot. It would be a lot better.
Yeah,
this looks
Down
like a hand
syndrome.
puppet.
Yeah,
This
then
looks
we
like
got
a rubber
Prey.
hand puppet.
He's like, look under your chest.
Looks so bad.
Okay, so
There we go.
Going from
about
actual prosthetics that open mouth up and stuff to CGI, it didn't work. It looks like crap.
Yeah, they look like the bad guys that played you.
When you look at the Predator movies that work, you don't really get a lot of like clear visual screen time with the Predators, like the ones.
No, and you shouldn't.
So throwing this out here,
it's a horror movie.
Yes.
Well, not
throwing
just
this
that.
out here in the trailer was a bad move.
Yeah.
There's a reason the Predators use the helmet. In an atmosphere like this, their vision is very limited. So the helmet enhances their thermographic vision to be more accurate. They have different modes or whatever, you know? So now does this Predator have the helmet because it's a stupid Predator and took it off, or because it got knocked off is going to be your question.
Oops.
No, this
So
Predator
this is also
the
out
autistic
November.
Predator.
Yeah, so this is November 7th.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an airbending Predator. Oh god.
What was that? Was that like some kind of plant control?
It was an angry plant. Watch the trailer. It's a big fucking.
It's like a on a jungle world where the plants will eat you and stuff.
It's angry vines. If you saw the Buzz Lightyear movie, that's the same thing. It's the same thing. I've seen that movie because my daughter likes that movie.
Of another potential disaster, guys. They're making an Avatar: The Last Airbender another sequel series too.
No, come on.
Yeah. So that's actually all the main material. I've got a couple things like the things I'm watching right now, which I don't think anybody gives a fuck about, but box office, I don't care about.
Well, no, Roman. People should be watching The Bondsman. They should be watching that.
I like The Bondsman. If you haven't seen The Bondsman, it's fun. I think good God,
Kevin Bacon.
Main star Kevin Bacon. I'm trying to think what's the movie where he's dancing, but Kevin Bacon he's again. It's a not super serious show. He's a bail bondsman who gets killed, goes to hell, and comes back to find demons and send them to hell.
Yeah,
what's that on?
It's lighthearted. It's on Amazon.
Roman, cool. Tell us some other things that you're watching and actually enjoying. Let's bring your blood pressure down and give you a chance to talk about something you like.
Do you remember that Fox series where the cop goes to hell and comes back?
Brimstone.
Yeah.
Except good luck finding that.
I know.
So I am watching
send me a
Two
DM
Walton
if you want,
Doggers. Is that on Matt Vision or
it is on Netflix? Yes.
Oh fuck yeah, because that's a good show. So I'm watching The Righteous Gemstones, which is fucking hilarious.
Yes, it's awesome.
It's on HBO. It's about it's about a prod religious fam. It's the stadium preachers. It's about
televangelists
going on. Yeah, yes, and they are so fucking weird.
Is that Roman?
The kids are wildly fucked up. And it's a very entertaining show.
This cast looks wild.
Oh my god, it is.
The cast is great.
Judy, the daughter, says the most inappropriate things ever, and she doesn't. I don't even think she means to. It's just the way she speaks is way fucked up and wrong. But it's a really good show. It's got 4 seasons. We're on 4th season now. That is her husband, BJ. He is pole dancing. But like I said, it pokes fun at the whole televangelism thing, and what they did. And I'm gonna throw this out there so you, as far as context goes, the episode starts with in the past. This season 4, starts with a Civil War episode. Now, immediately I'm like, they're gonna fucking do something that's gonna make me pissed off and hate them because they want to, white people bad. But they didn't. They played the Civil War like it was the Civil War. Like, this is just happening. These are just events that are unfolding. No one looks bad. No one does anything wildly stupid or atrocious. They just do, it's a war. Shit's going on. And they play it from that angle. And Bradley Cooper is in that episode as well. He is, which is an interesting choice.
What is this show? What?
The Righteous
Gemstones.
And then the other one I watched,
Civil War. What?
No, it's no. It's about televangelism. The season 4, episode 1 starts off in the Civil War. I just wanted to point out they don't pick at anyone in particular, which is good. They don't go with an angle at this, which is there are a lot of dicks in it. That's true. There's a lot of male frontal nudity. It is digital. I actually had to read it. Was that Walton Goggins' cock? It's not, because he wouldn't do it. So they've got a digital cock on him.
Walton Cockins. Got it.
Walton Cockins. The other one is, and Mists of the Empire got me into this, and it's like The White Lotus. It's got 3 seasons. Every season of this show is good. Every season is different. It's a murder mystery at a hotel, but it's also a dark comedy. And there's not been a season I didn't like. The first season is my favorite. It's set in Hawaii. The second season is set in Italy. The third season is set in Thailand, and they all have aspects that are very good. The last one I thought was the weakest season, but I thought it had the best ending. So it's just kind of one of those things. But it's a very engaging show. Once you get going, you want to see, because they start with the ending, and you want to see how you get there. So we watched all of that as well. So there's not tons of good. Once we get done with it, I don't know what we're gonna do. It's like, oh fuck, I guess we're gonna have to go back and rewatch fucking Mad Men again for the fucking 20th fucking time.
I have a show to recommend.
Yeah, what do you got?
I recommend Rogue Heroes. It's the story of the SAS in World War II. There's already been 2 seasons, and they're working on the 3rd now. So
what's it on?
I really recommend those. Those are good.
I haven't.
Not sure.
The first season is available on Amazon. I know that for sure because that's where I watch it.
Okay.
I haven't watched. It's on MGM Plus. That's why no one knows where the fuck it is. Season 1 was fucking killer. I loved it. You've got some characters on you. The guy who played Theon Greyjoy is in here, and he's not weird or terrible. And you have a lot of. It's a very solid series.
MGM
and it's based on true events, which is the craziest part of it.
It's based on
the formation
of the SAS.
Yeah. Is this basically just Amazon, or is it a separate thing?
No, it's the
MGM
original.
Plus.
You can, if you don't have MGM Plus, season 1 is on Amazon for free, so you can watch.
Amazon owns MGM, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll probably end up. Season 2 will probably end up there too. But that's a fucking fantastic show, Jacob.
If you know how to sail, you can find it anywhere.
There was a show I just found called Homestead from Angel Studios, the same people who did The Cry of Freedom or whatever.
How do you like that? I haven't heard much about it.
I thought I have the first episode, which is a movie, and it's the second, and then I don't have the first regular episode yet. The movie was okay. Had some good parts and bad parts. I want to see the series. It's a post-apocalyptic. Something goes off that causes electricity to not work for a long while, and this guy that with the cowboy hat you saw there, the one in the main scene, he had been prepping for something like this for a while, as in like a giant house that could have hundreds of people, like a colony, And so you get right into it when the movie is the events happening and getting there, And it's not woke. It's from Angel Studios. Everything they've done has been pretty good so far. But you all know them from that. What's that movie? What was the movie? Song of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. Yeah, they've done a bunch of stuff that is just really good. And then I'll have the first episode of the series when the Blu-ray comes out. I think in 2 weeks. So it's good enough that I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure about it. I mean, just I don't. What is? It's on a network of some kind, though, isn't it?
Well, you would have access to it through my thing.
No.
want
But
one of
in
those
general,
Jeeps.
it was on some kind of
So all of Angel Studios, they have their own thing. Like if you become Angel Studios,
oh, okay, it's another
you get
fucking
all of their
subservice.
stuff. Yeah. Well, I don't know what it costs, but but all of their products have been good, so it's not like you're buying garbage,
Yeah, it's just I have so many fucking sub stuff that I do, and it's like, oh my god, I got to scrape some stuff off. I also buy too many albums and action figures, so I have a lot of flaws.
We don't need to hear
Ask
about
of
your
the
sub
Empire.
stuff, Roman.
She will tell you that. What?
We don't need to hear. We don't need to hear about you scraping stuff off. They have a cream for that. Just
no, not that kind of stuff. What stays in Vegas stays, or whatever.
Except the herpes.
Except for the herpes, you bring that shit.
What
home.
rashes?
Let's go ahead
What
and
rashes
wrap
happen in
this week.
Vegas
We
stay in
actually get
Vegas.
through. Nothing actually ever stays in Vegas. That's what happens with the interweb. Yeah, so that was everything. Like I said, the box office, I really don't give a fuck about. We're not going to talk about that. So that's it. We can wrap. It was kind of a light news week. We had some interesting longer topic stuff, and then fucking Andor, fucking Last of Us, fucking Daredevil. And then the limited good stuff that is actually out there, but almost anything with Walton Goggins in it is good. I can't think of a fucking show that he's been in that hasn't been good. I liked him in fucking
Justified.
The Shield, in Justified.
He did a military show called Six I'm not
even familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's about SEAL Team 6. It's a dark military action thing.
I'm sure he's good in that. I liked Fallout. I thought he was great in Fallout. These two series where he was fucking good in. He's just one of those actors that him being in it makes it better. He was also in Predators. We spoke about that earlier. He was in that movie as well.
Yeah.
He
says Righteous Gemstones. He's in there.
Yes.
He's in the White Lotus
as Baby Billy, and he's Rick in the White Lotus.
Yeah, he does some animated voice work. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, he's in Invincible.
Invincibles.
Yeah.
He's Cecil.
Yeah. He was in The Hateful Eight. Remember that movie?
I hate that movie. I do hate that movie. I guess there's one Walton Goggins project that I don't like. I did not like that movie. Yeah. That is my least favorite of the Quentin Tarantino projects, followed shortly by Foxy Brown.
Jackie Brown.
Foxy Brown. Jackie Brown. I hate that movie too. But anyway, let's try to end on a positive note. All right. So
he was in Machete Kills. If you love parodies,
that I'm not familiar with.
Do you know who Machete is?
No, yeah, the donut guy, Danny Trejo.
Yeah. So Machete Kills is kind of a parody of that type of like B-grade action movie.
Yeah,
it's Trejo.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, I mean, watch anything with Walton Goggins in it. That's what you just got out of that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna roll out. What was that?
He said Danny Trejo has my favorite line in Anchorman is women, they can do stuff now.
God. So thank you to the chat for hanging out with us, throwing out informative and wildly offensive comments, because that's what we expect. We really, if you didn't do that, we don't even know why we're here. And thank you to the panel for always bringing it. And we're going to go around the horn before I forget to do that, because sometimes I do, because I am very old. So Shield Wall, my brother, the cool guy at the back of the bus. What do you got coming up, buddy?
Oh, back of the bus.
Hey, great show. Thanks for having me on. It's good talking about the Vegas thing and all the movies and TV shows that I haven't watched, that I was going to watch, and now I'm probably not going to watch. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's see what I got coming up. On next Tuesday, I will be on Jacob Ironside show, and we'll be doing X-Files. So
is that next week? That can't be next week.
Why not?
Yep.
No, because next week isn't then. Next Tuesday isn't the first.
Oh. No.
Oh,
don't you fuck me up on this, Jacob, because I rely on you to have it at the beginning of the month.
I don't know what we're doing now.
Oh, well, that's what
I
am not mentally prepared for next week, my friends.
Well, to be determined.
I need a 2-week notice, damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I guess we'll figure out what we're doing on that show. And then next week we're doing on this show the music that we like, I think.
The movie theme.
Music movies.
Theme,
yeah. Music films.
I will elaborate at the end. I'll elaborate at the end.
Airheads.
All right.
Fucking anybody shows up with a goddamn musical, they're off this fucking show. I'll just let you know that. So Shield Wall again. It was so good to see you last week. I'm looking forward to next year already. So it
was good.
Grand time. Joker voice. What do you got coming up, my brother?
Well, tomorrow I got the video coming out. With WrestleMania, we have new champions, which is going to mean new challengers. And then, of course, since the world of the WWE does not have an off season where there's always something to talk about, myself, Matt, Bradley Burnett, the Duke Devil 95, and of course, good friend of the channel and the show, Left Eye Ego. New time, 6 p.m. weekly. Wednesday night is overbooked. We moved it to Saturday, so after we're done, we can send folks over to Zach's show. So there we go.
Not Saturday, 9 p.m.
So I did just drop in the chats for Jacob's GoFundMe for his move. We didn't talk about it this week, but still, I know, Jake, that's still in work, right, bud?
Yeah, it is. Actually waiting to hear back about a house. So.
Oh, great.
Good.
So again, if you can
that.
donate, please, anything would be fantastic. Moving sucks. Moving costs a lot, and this was not an expected move for Jacob and his family. So please, like I said, if you can give something, please give something. Beard of Liberty. What do you have coming up, my friend?
Well, people can usually find me here on Thursdays, and Joker just for you. And also, if the mouse is watching, but she's out of town, so she might be busy. So Tuesdays people can find me over on Jacob Ironside's channel. Thursdays here with you guys, and on Mondays after the weekend is making our return. We were doing a video about every other week, so check that out. The newest one just the other day was my top movie posters and VHS covers.
Nice.
So there might be some in there that you wouldn't expect. So go check that out. And R2 and I are trying to figure out how to bring some live shows back too. So we're going to be doing some pre-records and lives hopefully coming up here pretty soon. So thanks to everybody who stuck with us through that and during our little hiatus, during R2 bouncing back from having his whole gut cut open and his insides pulled out and put back inside and everything. No, it's the nice stuff. Leave you with positive imagery.
Thanks for that, Beard. Blair to Blair, my good friend. Also great to see you this week. The pizza parlor was fantastic. I enjoyed that. That may have been a highlight for me of that trip, was that pizza place.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up this week, my friend?
Well, this week, nothing. But next week, Nick from The Plot Strikes Back is starting his Monday night show called Masculine Monday.
Yes.
And he's got a banner of a lineup set up. So first one's going to be Tombstone.
Nice.
And then Goldfinger, John Wick, Dread, the 2012 version.
Yeah.
A lot of good movies.
Nice.
So I'm going to be on some of those streams. I'm not sure which ones, but that's probably about the next thing I'll probably be on.
Right on. Well, speaking of Dread, quick rumor drop that
I saw that
the team from The Boys is picking that up. They're going to have a series with Carl Urban. So let's cross our fingers. One, that it doesn't suck and they don't fuck it up. And two, that they actually create that world in the way that they did in that movie. I mean, because that's the one that everybody fucking loves.
Definitely.
So that'd be, we'll see what happens. Jacob Ironside, what do you got coming up, if you know?
Yeah. I'm not sure next week, but I'll definitely figure something out. So keep an eye out. I'll be here next week for the music show. And
Right on.
yeah, I'm sitting at 458 subscribers. So I'm so close to 500.
On
So
the cusp.
if you know anybody who likes that type of stuff, please send them my way and subscribe.
Right on, buddy. Right on.
That's all I got.
Sammy 3-peat. I'm embracing you right now, Sammy. I'm hugging you right now.
I'm going to be whoring it up on Space Couch in about a half an hour. I'm getting interviewed. Then yes, I'm glad you brought up Nick's show, Blair, because I'll be popping in on that every now and then. Mondays are tough though. Mondays are sometimes I'm on B-Sup, sometimes I'm on Leon's show. So, but usually his show takes place after that. It's a later slot, but I will have a wife who will kill me if I go on to too many things. But yeah, this week I am, like I said, I'm getting interviewed for Space Couch. I don't know what to expect about that. And then hopefully, and then Friday, nothing. Saturday, I have Cavecast, and then anyone in the Detroit area. I'll be playing on the main stage at the Corktown Music Festival. So I'm sure I'll have video of that.
Nice.
So,
and then,
what topic is Cavecast this week, Sammy?
Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder.
Oh, not Jason Todd?
No. Like I said, I'll call you as soon as we get to Babs. You wanted to show up for Babs? You can show up for any one of the Robins. I think you. But yeah, we're doing the Boy Wonder, and then of course we have Sunday. I'll be doing in other news, and I can't remember who's going to be the guest, but somebody who said yes. So that'll do it.
Right on, Sammy. Matt, thank you for being with us, buddy. What you got coming up, pal?
Wednesday night's overbooked next week. Talk about the wrestling, on the questioners, we'll be dropping our review of Wheel of Crime episode 8. Thank God the season is over. I survived without having I didn't have too many strokes during reviewing that turd. I don't know if I'm going to do my live stream tomorrow or not, but I'm going to do a little video talking about. They just dropped some images from the live action Voltron movie, and
oh boy,
and based on the imagery, this is something weird to me. Henry Cavill is not playing the lead character; he's playing Lance because he's in blue. Lance is blue, the blue armor. Keith, the leader of the Voltron Force, wears the black armor. So they have not released who's playing any of these characters in Pacific. You can guess like Rita Ora is playing probably the princess, but they haven't revealed like the listings of which actors playing which character yet in this movie. But supposedly the film has wrapped, so now they're gonna do post production and I guess premiere on Amazon or something.
Interesting.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that existed. Frankly, I was not following that.
I mean, Cavill has been known because he is involved supposedly in the control of this movie. So he is known to be like when he has some control to not want to do woke stuff. So there's hope for this.
All right. Well, yeah, fingers crossed, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and tomorrow I'm going to be on with Father Miller. We are going to be talking about the papal succession. Remember, I'm in the running. And that's going to be at noon Pacific Standard with the Nerd Father. I always love being on his show. It's a lot of fun. And then next week over here on Roman of the Empire, we're going to be talking about our favorite movies about music. Now, that is not a fucking musical. I want that clear right now. I fucking hate musicals myself.
So but these all the jazz is out?
No musicals. No musicals. So this is movies. We did it like when
Oklahoma,
we did CBGB. CBGB is a movie
about
The Commitments is a movie about music. So things of that nature. It's about fictional bands or just like Empire Records would qualify, Joker.
What about the only answer is Walk Hard.
Movies about music. It's not a fucking musical.
I have an interesting pick.
The sound of music.
7 Brothers for 7 Brides.
I have an interesting pick. I'm just going to warn you right now. It will make your blood pressure rise.
Well, when you're a jet.
God damn it.
God, I can't wait for next week already.
It's going to be a hoot. We a lot of these movies we're going to talk about in passing, and then there's just a ton of movies about music, about bands, about real artists, made up artists, situations involving movies. Yes, I have my system organized autobiographically. There's like a whole bunch of shit out there, so it should be a good show. So thanks for joining us tonight. If you're watching on Twitter or over on YouTube, thanks for hanging out with us. If you're watching us post-show, thank you for hanging out with us as well. So everybody's data is in the description of the show.
Wait, they can watch me after the show goes off the air?
You can watch whatever you want. So thanks for hanging out with us. Please like and subscribe because the climb to 600 is slow, my friends, but I'd like to get there someday. So until next week, be kind.
Toodles.
Thank you.